Om Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsha Rishibhyo Namo Gurubhyaha. We were in the 6th Brahmanam of the 3rd chapter. So in each Brahmanam here, somebody is asking questions to Yajnavalkya. Now it is the turn of Gargi, Vachaknavi Gargi. So Vachaknavi means Vachaknoho Apatyam. She is the daughter of Vachaknu. So from this we see that ladies also were there. Brahmavadini Gargi she is called, because she is actually arguing with Yajnavalkya in the court of Janaka. And here you see Atahainam Gargi Vachaknavi Papracha. So Gargi Vachaknavi asked Yajnavalkyeti, hey Yajnavalkya, she draws his attention. Iti hovacha. Then she asks, Yedidam sarvam apsu otam cha protam cha kasmin khalu apa otascha protascha iti. So she is asking him a question about what is pervading this world and what that itself is pervaded by. So otam protam means, in English we can say warp and woof. Okay, so warp and woof, those who know how the weaving happens. So whenever a cloth is woven, there is a the length, one thread goes, and then across another thread goes, correct? The yarn. And they both together create the cloth. Means otam protam are the ones which pervade the entire cloth. Cloth is nothing but the warp and woof, the yarns which make up the warp and woof. Similarly, this word is used in the context of Karana and Karya. You can take. So the Karya is pervaded by the Karana. That is our understanding. And so this Otam Protam term is used to indicate that the Karana is pervading the Karya, and then Karana itself, if it is the final Karana, then it is fine. But when we look at it, the Karana itself, again, if it is something which is created, then something else it leads to. So this kind of reductionism is happening in science also, correct? We say that, for example, pot is clay. Then we say clay is all molecules. Then molecules are atoms. Atoms are subatomic particles. Like this we can go on. So like this inside, what is inside something? When we look at it, the inside here is in terms of what it is made up of. Not like two things of equal reality, which is the one is inside the other, like water being inside the pot. So here it is slightly different. In fact, in the 7th chapter also, the Antaryami and all will come. What is Antaha? What is inside? The way we look at the inside here is different. Because this whole thing, Bhashyakara will give the introduction from, in fact, the 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. All these Brahmanas hereafter, they are all there only to explain the Sarvantaraha. Yes, Sakshat, Aparokshat, like that, this Brahma was introduced, and then it was also told as Sarvantaraha Atma. So this, yes, Sakshat, Aparokshat Brahma is the Sarvantara Atma also. It is the self of all, means it is pervading everything. Now to understand that only, these questions are coming from the 6th to 9th Brahmanas in the 3rd chapter. The first question here is being asked by Gargi, and Gargi says all that is there here, okay, Edidam Sarvam, means whatever is there on the earth you can take, Parthivam, that which is made up of earth or earthly elements, etc. They are all pervaded by water, she says that. Okay. Sarvam apsu otam cha protancha. That she says. She herself says that whatever is there, the Prithvi, is pervaded by waters. And now she is asking the question, what the water itself is pervaded by. Okay. So kasminu kalo apaha otascha protascha iti. So the waters themselves, apaha is plural actually. That's why otascha protascha it is coming. So these waters are pervaded by what? What is the warp and woof for the water? Means Yajnavalkya says, Vayav Gargiti. Yajnavalkya's answer is, it is Vayu. It is the wind or gas or air, you can say. Now here one question can come, what about Agni? Means in fact this question Bhashyakara asks in the Bhashya also. So Bhashyakara says, Agni is not found independently of either solid matter or liquid matter, correct? Fire cannot be there by itself, therefore fire is not considered as pervading anything. So directly we go to the gaseous form, okay, the wind. So Yajnavalkya says Vayu, by the Vayu, okay. Then Gargi further asks, Kasmin khalu Vayoho otascha Vayuhu otascha protascha iti. By what is the Vayu itself pervaded? What is that which is the Ota and Prota for Vayu? Okay. Means Antariksha Lokeshu Gargiti. So here Yajnavalkya is answering it as Antariksha Loka. Antariksha Loka means you can take it as Akasha or sky. Antariksha, that which is there in between the heavens and the earth, correct? In fact, here it is coming as plural. Bhashyakara will explain this also, because if you see, Antariksha Loka is only one actually. There is only one Antariksha. But here it is coming as Antariksha Lokeshu, like that, in plural. That is because even the Antariksha Loka is made up of these 5 elements only, correct? The subtle 5 elements are there, Tanmatras. They only make up even all that. That is why from that standpoint, to show that even the Antariksha Loka is a composite or a compound, and that it is again made up of these 5 elements only, that plural is used. But it is still a subtle thing. That is why whatever is subtler pervades whatever is gross. That's how, that is also another thing. I told you that Karana pervades the Karya. The other way of looking at it is whatever is subtle pervades the gross. So here further she keeps on asking and Yajnavalkya keeps on giving answer. So Antariksha Lokeshu he said for Vayu. Then she again asks, Kasmin khalu Antariksha Lokaha otascha protascha iti. So in which it is, this Antariksha Loka also is pervaded. Means he is now giving an answer, Gandharva Lokeshu Gargi. So the Antariksha Loka is pervaded by Gandharva Loka. Then she further asks, Kasmin khalu Gandhara Lokaha otascha protascha iti. Then he gives answer, Aditya Lokeshu, Aditya Loka. The Gandharva Loka is pervaded by Aditya Loka. Then again she asks, Kasminnu khalu aditya lokaha otascha protascha iti. So the Aditya Loka is pervaded by what? Means Chandra Lokeshu Gargi iti. It is pervaded by Chandra Loka. So the interesting thing here is the Aditya is pervaded by Chandra. Okay. So again, what these each lokas mean, we really don't know. All Bhashyakara says in the Bhashya is that they are all subtler forms of the five elementals. Okay. And where you can, all the jivas can have whatever the karma phala bhoga can be there, correct? So the subtler, the subtler it is, the more bhoga you have, the more enjoyment you have. So these are all different lokas for that purpose. So the Chandra Loka pervades the Aditya Loka. Then Kasminnu khalu Chandra Lokaha otascha protascha iti nakshatra lokeshu. Chandra is pervaded by nakshatra, stars. Then Kasminnu khalu nakshatra lokaha otascha protascha iti deva lokeshu gargi. So the nakshatra loka is again pervaded by deva loka. And then she keeps asking, Kasminnu khalu deva lokaha otascha protascha iti. Again, deva loka also is pervaded by what? Means Indra loka. So Indra lokeshu gargiti. Then she asks, then further Indra loka also. Kasminnu khalu Indra lokaha otascha protascha iti. Then he says Prajapati lokeshu garge iti. Then Prajapati here is Virat. Okay, so we have to understand it as the physical, the totality of everything which is physical. So up to this point, everything is physical. So even like I told in science also, you can go physically, you keep on digging into the matter, you go into some quarks and all that they say, correct? The fundamental particles now are only a few quarks are there. Okay. And they make up all the other subatomic particles which make up the atoms. Atoms makes up the molecules. Like this we can talk about something like that only here. So Prajapati Loka is the Virat Rupam. It is a physical, the subtlest physical thing you can go. Then she asks further, Kasminnu khalu Prajapati Lokaha otascha protascheti. Then he says Brahma Lokeshu Gargiti. Now this Brahma Loka is the Hiranyagarbha Loka. Hiranyagarbha means we say it is the totality of the Sukshma Sharira, correct? The Prajapati Loka is Virat, which is the totality of the Sthula Sharira or Sthula Prapancha. This Brahma Loka is the Hiranyagarbha Loka, is the Sukshma Prapancha. It is the totality of all the Sukshma Shariras. And then she further asks, Kasminnu khalu Brahma Lokaha otascha protascha iti. There, Yajnavalkya does not give an answer. Okay. He now says, Sahovacha Gargi ma ati prakshihi. So do not continue this line of questioning. Don't ask too much, because this kind of analysis, which is based on Anumana, Pratyaksha and Anumana, you can only go up to a certain point. Afterwards, you cannot really go beyond that. That is true even for scientists, correct? After a level, they are also talking about quantum equations and collapsing of the quantum system and all that. And for that, they are talking about an observer. But still, there is no clarity in all that. So without a pramana, other than the Pratyaksha and Anumana, you will be stuck there only. You will not have any clarity. So you cannot continue this line of inquiry. So he is saying, that's what he is saying. Ma prakshi, ma ati prakshi, he says. So do not question too much. Ati prakshi, he means you are now asking, you are going beyond the realms of Pratyaksha and Anumana. This you have to only go by Agama, the Veda, whatever the Veda says, alone you have to go. You cannot just independently keep on questioning like this. If you do like that, what will happen? He says, Mate Murdha Vyapatat Anati Prashnyam Vai Devatam Ati Prichasi Gargi Ma Ati Prakshihi. Again he repeats, Ma Ati Prakshihi. So Gargi, do not ask too much. Why? Because I do not want your head to fall off, he says. Mate Murdha Vyapatat. Okay. Your head should not fall off, he says. In fact, I was seeing whether Bhashyakara or Anandagiri are interpreting it like a figure of speech, but they just are commenting on it as a matter of fact. Literally, only they are taking, I think. Or we can say that if you keep on going in this kind of an analysis, you are not going to come to any conclusion, correct? That is like your head has fallen off, we can take. That is if we take that as a figure of speech. But I don't think they are taking like that. So literally they are saying that if you go on like this, your head will fall off. Okay, so do not continue this line of questioning, this line of inquiry, because Anati Prashnyam Vai Devatam, the Hiranyagarbha or Brahmaloka or Brahma cannot be questioned further. You have to only go by what the Agama reveals in this case. So that Devata itself is Anati Prashnyam is the adjective for that. It cannot be questioned beyond that Devata itself. Okay. Particularly only using Anumana. So do not, again he says, he repeats Gargi ma ati prakshihi iti. So do not question too much in this way, using only Anumana, inference, and of course inference is based on Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha Anumana alone will not work. After that she kept quiet. Okay, Tataha Gargi Vachaknavi Upararama. She stopped. Gargi Vachaknavi. Okay, let us see the Bhashya here quickly. Yet Sakshad Aparokshad Brahma Sarvantaraha Atma iti Uktam. So this was said already. We have seen this. Sakshad Aparokshad. Sakshad means Bhashyakara takes it as there is nothing in between this Atma and anything else. Correct? Everything else you know it through something. But this Atma is directly known. There is nothing in between. There is no mind, there is no Indriya, there is nothing. And Aparokshat means Bhashyakara takes it as Agauna Brahma. Because this Brahman is talked about in so many upasanas. That is all Gaunam Brahma, correct? Whenever we have already seen so many upasanas, even the Ajatashatru Brahmana, the Brahma Upasana and all we have seen. So you do prana is Brahman, this is Brahman, that is Brahman, like that. There are so many upasanas are there and they all have their phalas. But there in all those places, it is only an upasana, it is only gauna. It is based on some guna. You are having a samya or similarity, and based on that you have to do the upasana. But here aparokshat means agaunam. It is mukhyam brahma. It's not something figurative. So this Brahma is the Sarvantaraha Atma. It is the self of all. That was said already. Tasya Sarvantarasya Swarupa Adhigamaya. So to know the Swarupa of this Sarvantaraha, how it is Sarvantaraha. Okay, how can you say that there is only one Atma which is there within all the beings, everywhere? To know the Swarupa of that, nature of that, okay, Ashakalya Brahmanat Granthaha Arabhyate. So up to this Shakalya Brahmana, which is the 9th Brahmana. So from 6 to 9, different questions are raised, which will make it clear to us how this Brahman is Sarvantara Atma. That is the idea. So this Grantha is now started from here onwards, the 6th Brahmana up to the Shakalya Brahmana, which is the 9th one. Okay, so now here what? Prithivya akashantani bhutani antar bahirbhavena vyavasthitani. So this starting from Prithvi onwards up to Akasha, all these bhutas, Pancha Mahabhutas, we say the elements. Antar bahirbhavena vyavasthitani, he says. One is inside, another is outside, means outside, inside here is like I said, whatever is inside is subtler, whatever is outside is gross, and the subtle one pervades the gross. Okay, that is the idea. And also the gross one is the karya, subtle one is the karana, like that also we can look at it. So the antar bahihi, here we have to understand properly. Okay, the inside outside thing. The outside is the gross, inside is the subtle. And it is the subtle is pervading the gross. In that meaning only the antar bahi here we have to understand. They are all there. And tesham yat bahyam adigamya Nirakurvan drashtuhu sakshat sarvantaraha agaunaha atma sarva samsara dharma vinirmuktaha darshayitavyaha iti arambhaha. So this particular Brahmana, the questions are there only to show whatever is outside. Okay, Bhahyam is called Vipsa in Sanskritam. So each one which is outside, Bhahyam 2 times if we say, correct? In fact, some Indians use this Vipsa even in English, although English does not have Vipsa, correct? So in English, you have to say everything which is outside or each one which is outside. Bhahyam means. So some people will say we went village we went. Like this some people talk. Means you went to every village or each village you went. So village I went, you cannot say in English. But in Tamil we can say. Maybe in Telugu also you can say, I think, or in Hindi also you can say. Sanskritam you can say definitely. So this Vipsa is used here. Bhahyam, adigamya. Knowing means what? Knowing it, the whatever is outside, you know it as what is inside. Okay, because the inside one is pervading the outside one. And in that manner, the outside one is rejected. Nirakurvan. Rejected means it is only karya, it is not real in fact. Whatever is really there is the one which is pervading this. So that alone we count, we take it. So in this way, you reject everything means what? Finally, you have to arrive at something, correct? Like I said, you reject the pot as clay as molecule as atom. Like that, we can keep on going. So where do we come and rest? Means sakshat sarvantaraha agaunaha atma. So that is the innermost sarvantaraha. So that's where you have to arrive at actually. And this has to be shown. That's what the Shruti is trying to show you here. And this Atma, what is the nature of this Atma? Sarva samsara dharma vinirmuktaha. And this Atma is free from all kinds of samsara, the life of becoming. It is free from that. And all the samsara dharma, sukha dukkhadi, etc. Atma is not entangled in any of these things. It is asanga. So it does not have any of the samsara dharma vinirmuktaha, and it has to be shown in this manner. Darshayitavyaha iti arambaha. This particular Brahmana is starting. And so athaha inam gargi namataha vachaknavi vachaknoho duhita. So now thereafter means already the Kahola previously he asked, correct? Kahola asked the question and then he sat. Kaholaha kaushitakeyaha. Now, after that, thereafter what? Atha Gargi Namataha, the one who is known as Gargi, Vachaknavi also she is called because she is Vachaknoho Duhita. She is the daughter of Vachaknu. She asked Papracha Yajnavalkyeti Hovacha, so she called out, hey Yajnavalkya. Then what? Yedidam Sarvam Parthivam. Yedidam Sarvam alone is there here. Here you can see. Apsu otancha protancha means that Yedidam Sarvam is what Bhashyakara is saying. Parthivam Dhatu Jatam means whatever is there here on the earth, correct? Dhatu Jatam means whatever is made up of all the elements on the earth. Okay, and all that is pervaded by water, he says. Apsu, udake, otam cha, protam cha. And otam, protam means what? Bhashyakara gives the meaning here. Otam, dirgha patatantuvat. So otam is the length, the thread which goes along the length of the cloth. And then protam is tiryag tantuvat. The protam is the one which goes across. Okay. Or viparitam. You can say otam, protam, otam. Whichever way you say, it is the same thing. Right? This warp and woof or woof and warp, they make up the cloth. Like that, this adbihi, sarvataha, antar bahir bhuta, bhutabihi, vyaptam, ityarthaha. So, by the water only, everything which is there here, both inside and outside, all the bhutas are pervaded by water. So why do you say it is pervaded by water? Now Bhashyakara is giving some logic also for that. He says anyatha saktu mushtivat vishiryeta, means he says otherwise there will not be any cohesion, he says. Okay, it is saktu mushtivat means you are having some flower in your hand, and then if you just put it on the ground or something, it is going to splatter everywhere, correct? It cannot come together, he says. So basically the water only is holding everything together like that. Otherwise it will be like only everything is they will be desiccated, correct? Form. That's not how things are. So we take that everything which is there here, it is pervaded by waters. And then what? Idam tavat anumanam upanyastam. So the anumana which is being used here is now, this is the anumana which is being used here, okay, which is being described here. What is that? Yat karyam parichinnam sthulam. So that which is a karya, and karya means it is limited, parichinnam, and sthulam also, which is gross. Karanena, by the karana, the cause. Karya is the effect, and karana is the cause. And karana with reference to the karya, we have to understand is what? Aparichinnena, which is not limited. It is bigger than the karya, at least, correct? So it is not limited like the karya, it is bigger than that, or it is unlimited, you can say. Aparichinnena. Sukshmena, it is subtler than the karya. Vyaptam, it is, and the karana, which is bigger than the karya, which is subtler, pervades it. Okay, so the karya is pervaded by the karana. Iti drishtam, it is known. This is seen everywhere. Like even yatha prithivi adbihi, like even the earth is pervaded by waters. Tatha purvam uttarena vyapina bhavitavyam. So in the same manner, water itself is pervaded by something else, like that. It has to be like that. Okay, whatever is the karya is pervaded by the karana, but karana itself, if it is a karya, then it is pervaded by its karana. Like that, you keep on going. Whatever is there before is pervaded by whatever is there after. Okay, it has to be like that. Ityeshaha asarvantarad atmanaha prashnarthaha. So this being the case, in this manner, finally what? Everything starts from you have to end up with the Atma. Sarvantara Atma alone is the innermost, subtlest, and it is the one which is really aparichinna, unlimited, and it is the one which is pervading everything. So you have to arrive at that. So asarvantarad atmanaha. So when you do like this, you will start with the Atma alone. Okay, you will end up with the Atma, in fact. And that is the idea of the question itself, he says. The question here is, although Gargi is starting from Prithvi and up and waters, the idea is to lead you up to the Atma as the Sarvantara. Okay, Tatra Bhutani Pancha Samhatani Eva. So here this Bhutas which we are talking about here, these are all gross elements, and they are Samhatani means what? They are compounds. Panchikaranam and all we have to understand. Trivrit Karanam is anyway talked about in the Chandogya Upanishad. So even the gross elements themselves are composites. Okay. So that we have to understand. Samhatani eva uttaram sukshma bhavena vyapakena karana rupena cha vyavatishtante, and they are again by the subtler things they are pervaded. Okay. Karana rupena, which is in the form of its cause, and they are all pervaded. That's how it is. Okay. It is there like that. Nacha paramatmanaha arvak tad vyatirekena vastuantaram asti. So the Paramatma, Brahman, and then everything else, the whole world, when we talk about under this Paramatma, whatever the whole world is there, this entire world are all only elementals. Nothing other than this Panchabhuta is there. Okay, that's what Bhashyakara is trying to point out. So tad vatirekena vastuantaram na asti, na you have to connect. Okay, na is there here. So tad vyatirekena means here the this panchabhuta vyatirekena. Tatra bhutani pancha, he said, correct. So the other than the panchabhutas, under the Paramatma or Brahman is sarva karanam, but that karanatvam itself, if you take tasmad etasmad atmanaha akasha sambhutaha akashat vayu vayor agni, like that, even the Taittiriya Upanishad talks about the panchabhuta srishti is there, then everything else are all elementals. So the entire srishti is made up of these panchabhutas only. So there is nothing other than the panchabhutas. Okay. If you take under this Paramatma, who is anyway the Sarva Karanam. And this was said in Brhadaranyaka itself because Satyasya Satyam iti Shrutehe. So in the second chapter, third Brahmana, we saw this Satyasya Satyam. The first Satya here is in fact, the Sat and Tyat, like that we separate that also. All that is tangible and intangible put together, and that's all only made up of 5 elements. And this Paramatma is the Satyasya Satyam, means what? It is the truth of all this Sat and Tyat also. Tangible and intangible, everything put together. That alone is the truth. So Bhashyakara himself explains that. Satyancha Bhuta Panchakam. So here when we say Satyam, Satyasya, in that Satyasya, whatever is Satyam is really the Bhuta Panchaka. And Satyasya Satyam, when we say, that is nothing but the Paramatma. Paramatma is the reality of even all this Bhuta Panchaka. So, this is clear. So, keeping this in mind, now we have to approach this question, whatever Gargi is asking. Okay. So here, Kasmin Kalu Apaha Otascha Protascha iti. So this Apa, these waters, they are pervaded by, or they are in what? Kasmin. Okay. Means Tasamapi Karyatvat, Sthulatvat, Parichinnatvat cha Kochid hi Ota Prota Bhavena Bhavitavyam. So Bhashyakara explains here. This question means what? Even the waters, even though waters themselves are pervading the whatever is Parthiva, whatever is there in the earth, but they are themselves again are what? The waters themselves are Parichinna, they are also limited, and they are also Sthula. Therefore, something other than even something else must be there, which is pervading the waters. Okay. Vota bhavena bhavitavyam, it has to be there. Kochit. He is yasmat here. Because of this Kochit, something Vota bhavena bhavitavyam, for the waters also there has to be a warp and a woof. Okay. And what is that? Kvat asam Vota bhavaha iti. So then what? Evam uttara prashna prasangaha yojayitavyaha. In the similar manner, you have to understand all the other questions also, he says, because it keeps on going, correct? We saw that already. In this manner only you have to look at it. So he says, first the answer he gives. For water, Vayav Gargi iti. So Yajnavalkya gave Vayav Gargi iti. Vayu is the one which pervades the waters. Now the Purva Pakshi or whatever, a question. A student is questioning, Nanu Agnav iti vaktavyam. Agni has to have been said here, correct? Because in the Srishti Krama also, Agni is there between Vayu and Apa. So Agnav iti vaktavyam. Agnav should have been said as the answer. No, Bhashyakara says Naisha dosha. No, it's not a defect. It's not a problem. Why? Agnehe parthivam va apyam va dhatum anashritya itara bhutavat swatantriyena atmalabha nasti iti tasmin otaprota bhavaha na upadishyate. So Agni cannot be found separately by itself. Either it is from something is burning, correct? Some wood or something is burning, or some liquid like your some oil is burning, correct? So it is found always together with some other dhatu, means here some other element or mineral or whatever. Okay, so it is only found along with something else always. Swatantriyena atmalabha nasti. It cannot be obtained, or it is not obtained by itself independently. It is always there along with something else only. Therefore, it does not have this otaprota bhava for Agni is not taught here by the or revealed by the Upanishad. So directly it goes to Vayu, so it's not a problem. Then kasmin kalu vayuhu otascha protascha iti antariksha lokeshu gargi iti. So what this Vayu itself is pervaded by means antariksha loka. Now here Bhashyakara, because antariksha lokeshu plural is there, so he is explaining tani eva bhutani samhatani antariksha lokaha. So these panchabhutas only have come together, and this antariksha loka also is a composite of these panchabhutas only. Okay, that he points out. Okay, so tani eva bhutani samhatani antariksha lokaha, and the antariksha loka also is pervaded by something else. So tani api gandharva lokeshu gandharva lokaha, then aditya lokeshu aditya lokaha, Chandra lokeshu Chandra lokaha, Nakshatra lokeshu Nakshatra lokaha, Deva lokeshu Deva lokaha, Indra lokeshu Indra lokaha. Then after Indra loka, Prajapati loka is there. That Bhashyakara says Virat Sharira Arambhakeshu Bhuteshu Prajapati lokeshu Prajapati lokaha. So then the bhutas which create the body of the Virat, the physical totality, correct? That is the Prajapati loka. And then Brahma lokeshu, Brahma lokaha nama anda arambakani bhutani brahmanda, we say, correct? Brahmanda, anda means here it is the potential, the egg, the cosmic egg, like that people translate in English. So we can take it as the subtle potential which is there, which becomes this whole creation. So that is the anda arambakani. Even there the panchabhutas are there. Okay, anda arambakani bhutani, the bhutas which make up this cosmic egg. So they are meant there. That is why the plural is there everywhere. So that's what he says. Sarvatrahi sukshma taratramya kramena. So each one is subtler than the other. Taratamya means there is a gradation. And what is the gradation on? One is subtler than the other. So that is the gradation here. And the subtler means what? Why is it subtler? And subtler means prani upabhoga ashraya akara parinatani. So all these lokas are there for the prani upabhoga. Means all the beings have to undergo different experiences based on their own karma, correct? And for that purpose only the subtler and subtler worlds are there. They are all in the form of different forms of enjoyments for the pranis, the beings. And this only the same panchabhutas have modified in such a manner that they are subtler and subtler, so that beings can have different types of experiences. So parinatani bhutani, the bhutas alone are there like that, and they are again samhatani means they have come together. It's a compound or a composite. Tani eva pancha iti bahuvachana bhanji. So this bahuvachana throughout, correct? Starting from antariksha loka to brahma loka, because all these there are only one loka, but still the pancha Pancha Bhutani have made up all these lokas. Therefore, the Bahuvachana is used like this. Bhashyakara is pointing out. So, up to Brahmaloka, the question has been asked. Now, Gargi is continuing. Kasmin Kalu Brahmalokaha Otascha Protascha. So, this Brahmaloka is pervaded by what? Similarly, then Yagyavalkya says, Saho Vacha Yagyavalkyaha He Gargi Ma Ati Prakshihi. So, Yagyavalkya says, do not question too much. Swam Prashnam, your own question. Do not take it too far, this inquiry. So, Bhashyakara explains that. Nyaya Prakaram Atitya Agamena Prashtavyam Devatam Anumanena Ma Prakshihi Tyarthaha. So, the meaning here is what? Do not ask based on inference such questions, because you have to go beyond Nyaya Prakaram means what? Nyaya Prakaram means pure logic. So, based on pure logic, you can come up to this point. I don't think even up to Prajapati Loka we have some logic or Pratyaksha, but even here we have to say that in those days people had everything, they had much more Pratyaksha than what we have, correct? Or even today, for a normal person, what is Pratyaksha and what is Pratyaksha for a scientist is very different, correct? Because scientists have all these telescopes and microscopes and all that. So whatever we see and whatever the scientists see is different. Like that, we have to take for our people, when this question answer was going on, they had much more Pratyaksha, and based on Pratyaksha Anumana only they have gone up to Brahmaloka for them also. Okay. So they have gone up to Brahmaloka, but beyond that, you cannot just question like this in the same manner. Anumanena ma prakshihi, only based on inference, Pratyaksha and inference, you cannot ask. That is the meaning for that. Ati prakshihi, ma ati prakshihi means. And also Prichantyascha mate tava murdha shiraha vyapaptat vispashtam patet. So, if you ask what will happen means what? If she asks further what, then your head may not fall off. Vispashtam patet means clearly it will fall off. Evidently it will fall off. So it should not fall off like that. Because if you keep questioning like that, that will happen. That is the idea here. Vyapaptat vispashtam patet. Why devatayaha swaprashnaha agama vishayaha. So the devata related question, correct, is agama vishaya. It is not anumana vishaya. That is the point here. So with just anumana, you cannot question, you cannot arrive at any answer also. You have to only take refuge in the agama, the Veda. Therefore, what tam prashna vishayam atikrantaha gargyaha prashnaha. Bhashyakara is explaining that Gargi's question went beyond. She kept asking in the same manner. Instead of going as per whatever agama is revealing, she just continued that line of questioning. Therefore, it is going beyond or asking too much. And it is basically anumanikatva. It is, her question was only based on inference and it was not proper. So Yajnavalkya tells her, do not continue this line of questioning. Sa yasyaha devatayaha prashnaha sa atiprashnya. So this atiprashnya word is there here. So you can see here atiprashnyam vai devatam. So Bhashyakara, for which devata, the question becomes atiprashnya means what? Na atiprashnya anatiprashnya. So this devata is anatiprashnya is there, means there cannot be questions further. Which devata about whom you cannot further question, that devata is anatiprashnya. That is the explanation which Bhashyakara is giving here. So yasyaha devatayaha prashnaha. So the question with reference to the devata is atiprashna or atiprashnya, and na atiprashnya anatiprashnya. So you cannot question with reference to that Devata further. So what is that? Swaprashna Vishaya eva kevala agama gamya ityarthaha. So the question with reference to that is what? Even if you ask, basically it has to be known only from agama. You cannot simply question and try to find answer using inference. So that Devata. Tam anati prashnyam vai devatam ati prichasi. So you are asking too much about this Devata, about whom you should not be questioning like this. Therefore, what? Ataha gargi ma ati prakshihi. So do not question too much. Martum chet na ichasi. If you do not want to die, otherwise your head will fall off, he says. In fact, this head falling off thing comes even further in Brhadaranyaka. In fact, the next Brahmana also, the questioner tells Yajnavalkya that if you do not know whatever I am asking you, and still if you want to take the cows, your head will fall off, he says. So this head falling off thing keeps on coming again and again in Brhadaranyaka Upanishad, interestingly. So if you do not wish to die, means here Bhashyakara, like I told you, it's not figurative or anything. Literally, he says that if you further question, you will die. So do not question. Therefore, Gargi also keeps quiet. So Tataha ha Gargi Vachak Navi Upararama. So Gargi Vachak Navi, then she stopped. Okay. She didn't question. So this is the Shashtam Brahmanam. Then the seventh Brahmana is a very, very popular, famous Brahmana called Antaryami Brahmana also. Okay. So here Uddalaka Aruni is the questioner. So after Gargi finishes her question, Uddalaka Aruni starts questioning Yajnavalkya. So Atahainam Uddalakaha Arunihi Papracha. So what did he ask? Yajnavalkyeti Hovacha. He again called Yajnavalkya. Then he tells a story. In fact, a similar story we saw before also, correct? This Gandharva possessing a lady is also common, I think. This is the second instance we are seeing in the Upanishad. So he says, Madreshu Avasama Patanjalasya Kapyasya Griheshu. So we used to be in the house of Patanjala Kapyaha. Again, Kapyaha means he is in the Kapi Vamsha. Okay. He's a descendant of Kapi Gotra. So this Anpratyaya can come in the sense of Gotra also. So Patanjala, who is a Kapya, in his house we were there. And what? Yajnam Adhiyanaha. So we were all learning how to do Yajna, etc. Okay. Yajnam Adhiyanaha. We were learning how to do Yajna. Tasya Asid Bharya. And this Patanjala, he had a wife. And what? Gandharva Grihita. She was possessed by a Gandharva. Okay. So now this Gandharva, they are asking question. Tam Apritchama. Okay, that Gandharvam Apritchama. We questioned that Gandharva. Kositi. Who are you? Then the Gandharva answered. Saha Abravit. Kabandha Atharvanaha iti. So he is Kabandha Atharvanaha. The Gandharva also has a Gotra Atharvana or Atharvanasya Apatyam. He is the son of Atharvana. Atharvanaha Kabandha. His name is Kabandha. And further what? Saha Abravit. Then he asked this Patanjala what? Patanjalam Kapyam Yajnikancha Vetha Nutvam Kapya Tat Sutram Yena Ayamcha Lokaha Parascha Lokaha Sarvanicha Bhutani Sandribdhani Bhavanti iti. So now this Kabandha is asking all these people who have come to study the Yajna and also the Patanjala, what? Tvam Vetha, do you know? Okay, Tvannu Vethanu Tvam Kapya, hey Kapya, do you know what? By which, okay, Yena Ayam Cha Lokaha, by which this Loka, Parascha Loka, all the other Lokas, okay, here and there, Paraloka also, Ihaloka, Paraloka, all these lokas, sarvanicha bhutani, and all the beings. Okay, sandribdhani, they are all tied together, threaded together. Okay, that sutra, tat sutram, by which the sutra by which everything is threaded together, everything is held together, you can say. Okay, do you know that? Okay, samdriddhani bhavanti iti saha abravit patanjalaha kapyaha na ham tad bhagavan veda iti. So he asked, do you know that sutra which is holding all these things together? Means Patanjala says, no, hey Bhagavan, aham na veda, I do not know. He again asks, saha abravit patanjalam kapyam yajnikancha, all these people and the Patanjala, he again asks, vethanutvam kapya tam antaryaminam. So do you know the one who is there, antaryami, one who is sitting inside and actually impelling everybody? Okay. So do you know that antaryami, the inner controller and all that? You can translate antaryami as inner controller. Okay, one who is sitting inside and impelling everybody, or in his presence alone, everything is happening, all the activities, correct? That antaryami, tam antaryaminam, ya imam cha lokancha parancha lokam, sarvani cha bhutani, yaha antaraha yamayati iti. So the one who is there inside and one who is controlling, one who is impelling these people, do you know that controller, inner controller? In fact, this question is somewhat similar to Kena Upanishad also, correct? Kene shitam patati preshitam manaha. Similar here. Kena pranah pratamah praiti yuktaha kene shitam vacham imam vadanti chakshushrotram kaudevo yunakti. Like that, it is there. So here again, this similar question: who is that? Who is there inside everything? This loka, the other loka, all other lokas, in fact, and all the bhutas. Who is the one who is impelling? Who is there inside all these beings and who is impelling them, making them act? Do you know that antaryami? Again he asks. So, yaha antaraha yamayati iti. Again this Patanjala says, saha abravit patanjalaha kapyaha na aham tam bhagavan veda iti. So he says, hey Bhagavan, I do not know that. Okay. Then what? Saha abravit patanjalam kapyam yajnikancha yo vai tat kapya sutram vidyat tamcha antaryaminam iti sab brahmavit sa lokavit sa devavit sa vedavit sa bhutavit sa atmavit sa sarvavit iti. So he says the one who knows this sutra as the antaryami, because he first asked about the sutra. Sutra is that which is just holding everything together, stringing everything together. In fact, this stringing thing comes in Gita also, correct? Sutre, Manigana, Iva and all that. Even in the Gita also, Bhagavan uses a similar imagery. But the sutra means you may take it as only something which is jada, correct? But it is not just stringing everything together or holding everything together, but it is the one which is impelling, which is controlling, which is yamayati, the word is used, correct? Yam dhatu. So it is also a conscious principle. That is why the both you have to understand. So he says the one who knows this sutra as the antaryami of all. Okay. Sutram vidya tamcha antaryaminam iti. And that person is what? He is Brahmavit. Because he has no Brahman alone is this antaryami. That is the idea. So he is Brahmavit. And since he knows the one who is there inside all these lokas, he is the Lokavit also. And in fact, the same antaryami is there in all the devas also. So he is Devavit. And he is Vedavit also, because the Vedas are also revealing this antaryami only. And Bhutavit, all the bhutas, all the beings are also impelled by this antaryami. So he is Bhutavit also, and he is Atmavit. Atma here is one's own body mind sense complex. or you have to take the one who is sitting inside this body mind science complex, the Antaryami, means you know yourself also. Atmavit. And because of this, he is Sarvavit also. Because he is all these wits, he knows all these things. He is knower of everything. Sarvaviti iti tebhyaha abravit. And so he then taught them about this Antaryami. Okay. So now this Uddalaka Arni says, Tad aham veda. Now I know that about this Antaryami, whatever was taught by this Gandharva, Kabandha, I know that. Okay. Tat chet tvam Yagnavalkya Sutram Avidwan. So if it is the case that you do not know this sutra, okay, you are the one who does not know this sutra, and further what? Tamcha Antaryaminam, this sutram and Antaryami you do not know, and Brahma Gavihi Udajase Murdhate Vipatishyati iti. So he says this all these cows you want to take away, but it can be only taken by the one who knows this, because I know that, and without knowing whatever I know, if you take away all these cows, then he says Murdhate Vipatishyati, your head will fall off. Iti, he says thus. Then what? Yajnavalkya says Vedavaham Gautama Tat Sutram Tamcha Antaryaminam iti. So Yajnavalkya says, hey Gautama, I know that Sutram and that Antaryami also. Even then this Uddalaka Aruni is not satisfied. He says, Yova idam kaschid bruyat veda vedeti yatha veta tatha bruhit. See, anybody can say, I know. How do I know that you know? You tell me whatever you know properly. In whichever manner you know about this Sutram and Antaryami, you now tell me about that properly. Then only I will know really whether you know or not. So he asks like that. Then Yajnavalkya gives a beautiful answer. It keeps on going, in fact. And we'll see all that next week. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
Om.